Hey guys, this is Ambasa here from Aalok Institute. Today we will see about one of the Oracle DBA tasks during the day-to-day activity in his real-time life. So that points we will discuss with practical part. Start with here, the one of the tasks would be creation of the table space. So what is the table space? Table space is a logical structure made up of physically the data file, whereas logically made up of the segments. The segment can be a table segment, or the segment can be a index segment, and there are many more segments. So you have to tell table space is my logical structure, physically made up of data file and logically made up of the segments. Let's go ahead and prepare the table space. Here you go. I prepared it. Now what is the point to note here is, while creating a table space with a data file, I just given my size of the data file is hardly 2 MB. That's what is not the best options. You have to tell I given only 2 MB options. That's not the good option, but still if I try to create a table space in this pattern is one of my DBA tasks of the Oracle DBA task. Now after you get prepared the table space, now try to go ahead and store the table in it. Example, I'll try to create a table. Here you go. This is my table creation. What sentence it says? Create table name. So here we will be mentioning you are creating a table. What is the name of the table? This is the test 1, 2, 3, 4, and where it is stored in the table space. So you are saying that table you go ahead and store in the table space, and the table space is made up of the data file. Indirectly the table is going to in my data file. So what you have to tell? It is going to in my data file. Physically the file name would be this one, and you can say it's a file path is this. So hardly 2 MB given, the table now stored in this particular table space, in other words in the data file. What happens if you try to go ahead and prepare the index in it? Let's go ahead and prepare the index point here. This is my index creation. What it says in error? So it says that you cannot store this index because it is unable to have a you can say the space in my data file. It cannot be able to extend it. Due to that, my index is preparation gets filled. So what is my further DBA task in the day-to-day activity? I have to go ahead and increase my data file. So what I have to tell, I can change my table space addition part. I can add a further data file in it, or I can go for resize my existing data file. So there are further options would be, now you have to tell there are total 3 options in it. One is my adding my new data file into that particular table space. So one of them is that option, like adding a new data file. Second, I can go for change my existing data file size. So that means we call resize. So the third option I can make it here is existing data file, I can make it automatically grow. It is called, again it's one more way of automatically increasing my the data file. So those all 3 are one of the options which we can say solve this particular problem. So either you can go with adding new data file to this particular table space is one of the DBA Oracle DBA task. Second one would be you can resize it, or third you make it auto extend on. Let's see one by one. If I try with adding a new data file, you have to tell here alter table space name, add data file, and here you have to give some new file with let's say 10 MB, and you can mention here second file in it. This is what I can say that this is my one of my DBA task in case of tablespace management. So that's a one solution. Maybe if I try to now create a index in it, it's working as expected. Now no errors. Now what happens if I try to prepare a few more table in it? Let's create a, instead of one more table here, 1, 2, 3. It is just prepared, and now try to load it a few more data in the same table. Insert into table name and select star from table. This is a table. So now if I try to add a few more data in it, is it working as expected? Yes, it works a few data while insertion, but after certain time again it gets failed. So that means you are adding a new data file, which is you just mentioned, it is only added with 10 MB. Up to 10 MB, the table space can keep having the data or keep growing the data. So existing has a 2 MB plus you have added another 10 MB. So that becomes here 2 MB plus 10 MB, 12 MB. So that 12 MB is also not sufficient now because the data keep growing. So what is the further solution? You can go for make it resize. That's one of the other solution. I can say that, okay, this is the data file what we prepared earlier, 10 MB. I'll now make it alter database data file, and the single quote, this is the path and the file name, and resize with 30 MB. So initial it is a 10 MB. Now you have given further 20 MB. So it becomes a 30 MB. Now let's try to go ahead and insert the data. It is now working as expected. But what happens if I try to keep data more and more? Again, same issues. So what is the good solution where I can go ahead and tell that, well, instead of resizing it, I'll make it here auto extend on. Now you can try with adding more and more. So you may not get as quickly as error because now it is automatically extending it. So up to what point it will extend? So if it is a small file tablespace data file, it will go up to 32 GB. Given condition is if your Oracle block size is 8 KB, or if it is a big file tablespace data file and you cannot add it there, the data file, rather you can only you can say increase your data file, and that's goes to up to 32 TB for given block size of 8 KB. So this is how the Oracle DBA does is a day-to-day activity during the tablespace management. In that, data file adding, resizing the data file, and making auto extend on. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye bye.